and welcome back to Street Rod Jim's Garage. So as you can see, we have no rocks. And then if we go to our older tires, we have plenty of rocks. So I think we're moving in the right direction. But I'm not saying that there's no rocks that fly. So here we are. We got some stuff polished up. It's looking pretty good. I mean, you could see a little something here and there, but depends on the lighting, I guess. I'll probably go over it one more time by hand, and then we'll probably seal those up. Also, and it just shows you how much life has been interrupting me. The last polishing of the grill video I did, it was like, yeah, I'm getting this all perfect, and then we're going to seal it up, and I did a continue thing, and like, next week I'm going to get this finished, and then here it is 3 months later. It's not sealed yet, and it's been driven at least, 50 miles, and so I need to kind of go over this one more time. It's actually looking pretty good. I don't see any like bugs and stuff, so that's good. Kind of get that all sealed up. And then we have our windows installed, and so now we just need to put our trim piece in on the inside. And it's so scary when I see stuff like that. And kind of go from there. So I'm not feeling 100% today, which I haven't been feeling 100% for a while, but we're trying to just move forward, get this finished. This is literally the last two things I'm going to do in the car, and then I'm calling it done. And then we're going to go out and drive and not care about anything. That's how it's going. So let's see what we can accomplish today. So I went out and I bought the official flat bird's eye is what they wanted me to use for the Sharkhide. And I guess because of the weave or something, it doesn't leave imprints in the sealing material that goes on there. And so I have my little thing of Sharkhide. And, I need to find like a little test piece sample that I could use this on. So I'm pretty sure I have something, but we'll have to double check. But we're going to kind of go through, see what we figure out for everything, and kind of go from there. So right now I'm doing a practice, and you can see I rubbed it multiple times, and you could see that there's some lines in there and it's not flowing out per se. So we're going to see how this comes out. Now I also see a little spot. You can see that caused some issues there doing that. Otherwise it's pretty clean, but I could see the stripes. So we're going to see how this dries. And then they say, you know, it's good to do 2 coats. But we're going to let this do its thing while I do another polish over here and just make sure it's super clean. And, you know, the stuff on the inside, I'm not, you know, if they made little tiny polishing tools that I could pick up cheap and, you know, go inside of each thing, I would, but I'm done. I'm done. So it's a few minutes later, and it looks like it did even out. However, that last little thing, I put a little bit of dust in there. So I don't know how long it takes for this to dry. I'm going to let it do its thing. And then I'll probably test a second coat just to see what that does. It might actually meld and burn into this other area that's a little bit lumpy and make that go away, so we'll see. But so far so good. And I just did a polish on here. Got everything as clean as I want it to be, so I'm happy with that. And then we're going to try, if we can get this to work, we're going to Sharkhide this, that one, and this puppy. Of course, I'm going to tape this off because this stuff goes everywhere. But, you know, they use this on boats a lot for the pontoons. Also diamond plates on trucks and boats and things like that. And hopefully we can get this clean enough to go on. So now I'm starting to see why only use the bird's eye, because even with the bird's eye I was able to get a little dust in there. So I'm going to review a little bit of application notes and then see what happens. My good friends over at Factory 5 have sent me something. Looking at the latest catalog, which includes information on their new XTF Ford pickup truck Raptor Killer. If you don't know about the XTF, you basically take an F-150 and you put a new frame on it and you rebuild it with all sorts of crazy parts. Becomes a wide body, so you could go off-roading. Of course, this is the car that I'm interested in, and I was going to email Dave to see where we're at with the hypercar. This would be really nice to build. And since it's a full carbon fiber body, the body work would be almost zilch. So, let's see what else they got here. Bolt not bought, and a little Factory 5 sticker. Very much appreciated. All my catalogs, which I have on hand right here, are 2019. So they didn't have some of this stuff in 2019. So I keep these in my garage in case people are over here and they want to, you know, see what else Factory 5 has when they stop by. So in any case, super happy. All right, so it's about 15 minutes later. Supposedly this stuff dries to the touch in like 1 minute, you know, 90 seconds. It seemed like it took a little bit longer for it to kind of flatten out, but it is also a colder day. It's in the 60s range instead of 75. So, but I like what I'm seeing. And now here's the other thing. So they always suggest to do 2 coatings, and the second coating will meld into the first coating. However, they say let it sit for 3 days before you do the second one, because if you come through too early, then you'll meld into this right away instead of letting it like soak in after 3 days. And, in other words, let this harden for 3 days. So when it melds, it takes a little time to get to it. Because if you start soon afterwards, you're going to put spots into it because it's going to meld too quick, and then all of a sudden it's going to gunk up and look like crap. So yeah, and this rag seems pretty dry to the touch. So the other key is to have enough cloth. So let's say, you keep that cloth with like 6 layers, and you get enough Sharkhide on it to where it's always wet. And so when you're doing your application, you never run out. You just do a whole section all in one application, because it is a wicking product. And so if you're saturated, then it will always keep wicking to keep the cloth wet and from the inside of the pile of cloth to the outside. So that's the philosophy, straight from Sharkhide's mouth themselves. Yes, I'm scared. I'm scared to take my beautifully polished things and start doing it, even though that came out pretty nice. And it looked horrible, when I first did it. Now, the thing here is I did multiple wipes on purpose to see what it would do. In this situation, I'd probably just hit this edge and then come back and do one wipe across the whole top and hopefully not go back, just get it all in one swoop. So, yeah. And the same thing with this, you're like, well, okay, let's say I start here and I start going around. Well, the time maybe I go around. If I could do it in literally 10 seconds, like you just saw me do, then great, no big deal. And then I'll come back around and hit that again. Let's say it takes me a minute to get around because I'm fidgeting and stuff. Then I come back around and this is already dry, and now I'm running into it. Now I got an issue right up here where it's going to look like crap, and that's where everybody's going to see first. So I kind of feel like, well, maybe I should start not here either, maybe here, and go around and, wipe back into that, and hopefully that's good enough, And then maybe 3 days later, wipe from here all the way around and kind of even that out. I'm not sure. And then I could get on the inside here and work my way down. That I'm not too worried about. That will just take seconds. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little scared. Because if you don't do it right, then now you're talking about sanding and basically delaminating a product, taking it off, sanding it off. I don't want to do that. So, I think my cautions are, valid, yet I think my job's so small, it shouldn't be an issue. We'll just put it that way. So if I was doing, the whole side of a vehicle or something, then I'd have more valid things going on here to not screw it up. But see if we, get the courage here to go. So it looks like we have success on the 33. I don't notice any spots. It doesn't even look like I put it on, which is good. That's exactly how it should be. However, over here we have some issues. I wax and grease remove these things, but I'm getting I don't know, it's just not laying correctly. However, the parts that it is laying correctly looks amazing. So it looks like it will be a second coat. I'm getting a little bit of a buildup here, and so that's why I flattened these out, because it was building up on one side, so I don't know how well that's going to flatten out. But second coat, I might not even try to hit this side again and just hit the top, maybe run my fingers over the sides. Seal this up. Looks like I have a piece of dust or bubble in there, so we'll have to see what happens next time. But yeah, so it looks like I'm stuck on these for about 3 days, and this for 3 days, so I need to not run into it. That's the biggest thing, is don't run into it. Don't hit it with my pant leg. So yeah, you know, I practiced about 4 or 5 times of how I was going to do it with a dry cloth. Went back, dipped the cloth in, and went for it. And is what it is. So we are going to, man, I just really want to move that a little bit, but hopefully when I do the next coat, it will meld a little bit more and flush that out a little bit. So we will see. All right, so I purposely, let's see if we can get this to do it. I purposely put this on, you know, after an hour, put on a second coat, and sure enough, it melded way too quick, and now it's permanently trashed, you know, bumps, grooves. So where, you know, the original finish is, it just lays out perfectly. So definitely going to wait 2-3 days, 3 days I guess, and then do the next coat, and hopefully that will fill in some of the issues, which is kind of the point why you put a second coat, is it will get, you know, the probability is you're going to get something that you missed, and then it will meld into each other over time and look like one finish. So we will see if that's true. In fact, when I come back, I'll do this again too, and see if that melds out those lines. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll just check it. So as you can see, it looks like we were able to get through and get it fully coated without the issue. I did a little extra wax and grease remover, which I was worried was going to lift the product itself, but I did it quick enough that it wasn't dissolving in. And of course, we're, I think, 3 or 4 days after I originally applied it. And then I did another coating and looks like it all leveled out, because now I have everything leveled correctly. just to show you this, you could probably see that there's a little bit of dust in there, but besides that, it was really, really like ribbed before. And when I applied enough on there and let it sit, it leveled out and either melded into it or filled it up. Not sure which, but or probably a little bit of both. But, oh, there you go. Besides the dust, everything came out good. I don't really have any dust in my other panels. And over here looks really good too. So I will say that the product is a little finicky in the sense of when it gets dust and when it doesn't. You know, I'm doing everything fine, there's no dust in anything. I do this, there's no dust in anything, and then I do this and there's dust in everything. I don't know why. But it seems that if you keep enough product on the pad and you're always moving in a sense, and never, you know, in this case I had to lift off because they're small pieces, lift off. But like if you're doing a pontoon boat or something like that, as long as you keep it moving and keep it always on the surface, it seems like it does really, really well. So I'm going to get out of here so I'm not causing more dust to land in this stuff and I'm not hitting the grill, which is very easy to do. I almost did it right now. So so that's it. Shark skin on these, and we will put these on the car when it's nice and dry. Until next time, have a great day.